Hello, welcome to part 13, the magical number 13, lucky number 13, for creating a 2D platformer within Unity. And you know it's always going to be a good one when you start on PowerPoint when you're teaching a games design course. So we're going to look at using interfaces within Unity. So this is more of a kind of getting into an intermediate level of coding now. And we looked at this similarly before when we did inheritance classes. So if you're using inheritance classes now and you understand them, well done. You're becoming an intermediate within your coding. And even if you know how to implement them, maybe even advanced. And this is really the case with this as well, when we look at understanding and embedding them into your game, especially with interfaces. So what is an interface? Well, an interface is can be seen as a contract or a set of rules within your game, and whatever the contract/rules dictate must be implemented into your game. An interface creates a plug-and-play system for your game. It creates a number of components that can be added directly to your game. This gives developers and designers more time to work on aesthetics of their game rather than writing tedious amounts of code. Unlike inheritance classes, which we've looked at before, that inherit from one script to another, remember we use those terms parent and child, this uses interfaces implement a function from one to another. So let's have a little bit of a recap and understand. So if we recap, we can understand what an interface is from looking at inheritance. So if we have a look at inheritance, you can see here, we typically created our initial inheritance class of shark, and then called this with an integer of health, a float of speed, and a method attack. And we could say, for example, here we had a group of shark enemies that, say, for example, we could embed this into child scripts for a great white, tiger shark, and hammerhead. Here we can dictate and customize our integer health, integer float, and our attack methods on each of our tiger shark, hammerhead, and great white shark. Just making life a little bit easier and a little bit easier to kind of understand if you've got quite a technical enemy system that you're creating. So how does an interface compare to an inheritance class? Well, if we have a look at that, we can see that if we create an I damageable, so this, you'll see this a lot in industry. I stands for obviously interface, and damageable is something that everything can have within your game. So this is why we use interfaces where they can be implemented with a function anywhere. So we can see it's got an integer of health on shark, shelf, and sword. And these are three completely random things that I've chosen, but that can obviously be damaged within a game. A shark can be damaged, a shelf can be damaged, anything can be damaged within your game, what you dictate it can be. Okay? And these set of rules that these three scripts implement have the same complete damage function. So the same thing will happen to them. Unlike an inheritance where you can dictate and customize each method, these functions or these functional methods are completely and utterly the same. So why do this? Why have the same thing? Well, usability, it makes things a lot easier. If you have one script that can deal out all the damage on each item and it works, well, just like it said in the previous slide, it creates ease of use, and so you don't have to write tedious amounts of different code just to destroy each item. This makes life 10 times easier and 10 times quicker when it comes to putting your games together, especially when you're destroying enemies, items, or essentially anything. So what we're going to do today is create an I damageable with an integer health and a damage method within our game. So we're going to look how to embed that as well as looking at this as well. So if you want to do a bit of extra research as well. I can put this up on the Google Drive and share this out with everybody. My own students, you know where you can grab this PowerPoint presentation. So obviously Unity have got a little bit on it as well, and also there's a bit of it coming from a Microsoft point of view for C# programming in general of how it works. Okay, so what we're going to do is firstly create our iDamageable script. So or it's not, well, it is a script, but it's not a class. So if we right click, go to create C# script, and what we're going to do is type iDamageable. There we go, all one word, press enter. Lovely, fantastic. So for now, if we look at our PowerPoint, we can follow this. I want to create an iDamageable with an integer of health and a method of damage. Cool. Let's implement that, or let's see how a interface script is different from a normal public class, or that's something that derives from model behavior, because this again is not going to derive from model behavior. I haven't actually double clicked on the script. That was a smart plan. So iDamageable, let's double click on this. Cool, lovely. As you can see, it sets it up as a normal script. We have to edit this. So the first thing we're going to do is get, start and update and delete those. We don't need those. What we're going to do with model behavior, again, this is an interface, not something that's deriving from Unity. So we are going to delete that. And then right at the end, with this public class, we're going to change class. So if we delete class, and as soon as we write it, there we go, interface, double click, there we go. So our interface already looks a little bit different and maybe a little bit more simple. So once we've created our script looking like this, if we have a look at our PowerPoint, we can see that integer health, we want something for integer health and damage. Okay, cool. Back to Visual Studio. So let's create our integer health first. So I'm going to use a capital H, integer health. And then we are going to create our void damage brackets. Lovely. So as we can see here, our public interface damageable has taken our void damage method. Lovely, but it has a problem with health. So this is a key feature with interfaces. Interfaces can't take or don't understand variables. Okay, so we need to get that variable from somewhere else. That's fine. The way we get that variable from elsewhere is by using something called getters and setters. Okay, so to put it into kind of easier to understand language, we need to get that integer health from somewhere and then set that health from somewhere. And I'll show you how we can change this. Okay, so let's do a bracket, and we're going to do a curly bracket, and as you can see, it was already kind of setting us up for the getter and setter. So if I type in get, there we go, semicolon, right, set, semicolon, there we go. Absolutely fantastic. And that's all we need at the moment for our iDamageable. So if we hover above get, it says the keyword is used to define an accessor method to retrieve a value of a property or indexer element. So because we need to get the element from somewhere. So if we click on our script, we can see we have a public integer health here. So this is where we're going to get it from. So once we've got it, we need to set it. So what we would do is in our attack method, set how we are going to implement our damage, getter and setter. That's probably the most easiest I can put it. Okay, that's good. Okay, so if we go onto our skeleton enemy, we can see we've got lots going on here. That's absolutely fine. Still got our override. That's all good. So what we now need to do is, at the moment, our skeleton is deriving from enemy. That's fine. A script can come from two base classes. That's absolutely fine. And how we set that apart is what we do is just a comma, and then if I type in iDamageable, there it is, pops up there. Okay, so what's happening? I've typed in iDamageable, it should be working, surely. No, this will not work. Remember what I said right at the start of the PowerPoint. If we go back to our description, an interface can be seen as a contract or set of rules. So if we go to Visual Studio, go to iDamageable, under here, let's just write a little bit of pseudocode as a reminder to ourselves. Set of rules. Okay, so let's look at this. We need an integer of health of get and set and our void damage. They are our rules. These two here are our rules. So even if our skeleton script is deriving from the inheritance class of enemy and iDamageable, it's not meeting the rules of iDamageable. Okay, and we need to implement that in. Okay, and what you can do, either on Mac or on PC, what you can do is right click, go to quick fix and click implement interface. Okay, and this will quickly fix things for you, or you can enter it in manually. So let's do this for now. So if we right click, go to quick fix, or you'll have something like it on PC. I can't remember what it exactly is, but it says quick fix or quick implementation or something, and then something will come up saying implement interface, and then you can click this. So if we click this, we can see we don't have a red line under here anymore, and we can see it's kind of setting, there we go, set our get and our set, and also underneath, oh actually where is it put it? I can't see our damage, or is it just put it along here? Nope, where's our damage? There we go, there's our public void damage right at the bottom there. So that's fine. What I'm going to do is I can keep this, that's fine, that's not being annoying, I'm just going to delete that there. And for this, I am actually going to change this. This is really long and annoying. So the best way we can put this for our getter and setter, if I just delete that, is quickly implement. So how do we write it on here? It's an integer health. So if I go on to attack, skeleton, go to integer health with the capital H. And again, exactly how I set it out in the iDamageable will work here. There we go. That should have gone. Why is that not gone? Oh, because I haven't set it as needs to be public. Public. Dear me. Public. Int. Lovely. There we go. So that is working all fine and dandy. So we can save this. Because we've got our public void damage right down at the bottom, and I'm going to save this because I can't remember if I saved this or not. Okay, fantastic. So that is working. It's all good. Cool. So if we look at let's go back to our skeleton script and look at our public void damage. We need to see if damage is going to be properly implemented. Okay, so we need to make sure that our attack and damage are going to implement, and the damage is going to actually work on our skeleton enemy. Okay, so we're going to do a check just like we did before with the on the trigger collider. We did I think we either did hit or collision or something like that. We wrote that down as a debug. Again, we're going to do the same here. So if we write debug.log, .log, there we go. And what we can do is, let's do some, I'm going to write damage with the brackets just to show that it is a method. That's it. I can't think of, yeah, that'll be fine. Cool. So we now need to implement the damage into our attack script. This is fine. I'm going to save this. And then we're going to head to attack. And then under here, what we can say within our attack in our 2D trigger is we need to call up our iDamageable script, because that's where damage is deriving from, essentially, where the function is from. So if we go I damage, we need to represent this as a variable name. So let's say hit. We can say, yeah, hit equals other dot get component, and then we can look for I damageable, bracket, bracket, semicolon, and then we can say if hit is equal to null, we can then say hit dot damage method, just like that. Cool. Okay, so let's save this. I'm going to save this script again as well because we've been dancing around all of these scripts. And let's minimize PowerPoint because we don't need that anymore. Go into our script. So if we come back into our game with that script and press play, we should be able to, oh, easy, don't fall over. And still got to sort that out. Lovely. Anyway, so what we're going to do is, as I attack him, as you can see down in our console here, if I double click, oh, we can see, where is it? Damage, there it is. Fantastic. So damage, oh, there it is again. Damage is working. Damage is working. Fantastic. So that means our script is working despite our our knight falling over because of the very rickety colliders that I have put on the ground. Cool. So what we're going to do, come out of that. That works well. Fantastic. So let's clear this. Cool. So now we know that works, we can go on with the rest of our script and implement this in. So if we go and let's initially click on our skeleton enemy, and we can see that he's got a health of 0. Well, that doesn't help us. He needs some health so we can kill him in cold blood. So I'm going to put 3 in there. So we'll take 3 hits to kill our enemy. So what I'm going to do is save that. And then we can go back into our skeleton script. And in update, which is here, I'm going to do that under there. We can write, we can start the base of our health. So what we're going to see is what we essentially want to do is take, oh, helpful. I want to take this number and implement almost like backwards back into our script. So whatever we put into our inspector, that will come out within our script. So if I say health with a capital H equals base dot health, there we go, semicolon. Lovely. So that will now take that number 3 and do that as base health. We then can look at our void damage or public void damage, and under our debug, we initially want to take 1 health away, and then we want to, what do we want to do? We want to kill our enemy. So let's just say, yeah, dead enemy. What do we do when our enemy is dead? Okay. So let's initially say to take health away would be easy enough to say health minus minus semicolon. So that means 1. Cool. Really quick way of doing that. And to say that our enemy is dead, we can say if health is less than 1, we can say destroy this dot game object, semicolon. Lovely. And we are going to save this. I think, yeah. Let's give this a go. So I need to do let's take that away. So if we press play again, well, actually, instead of humiliating my player, I'm actually going to move him. I'm going to move him over here, so he drops down. So as soon as we press play, he drops down. Oh, he's not having a good time on this level, is he? Not at all. So with our player here, what I'm going to do is attack him. Oh, there we go. He's gone, but he's already gone despite our health being at 3. He's gone with just 1 hit, as we can see here. So what this probably is our, if we show this again, if I press play of this again, what is that ground for tarmac like? Is it bumpy as anything? It is bumpy as anything. Cool, what I'm going to do is grab our player and put him on a flat bit over here. Press play. Cool, so as our sword hits the, attacks our skeleton, it's the animation. If we play through this, go into animation, click on player sprite, click on attack. As we go through, he is swiping. Let's have a look at this. It's something good. So there, and there is all of those 3 animations are going through that collider. So that's a minimum, absolute minimum of 3 hits on that one collider, just with that swoop of our hitbox going through that collider. So we need to say in our scripts, we need to dictate just 1 hit. We need to say it's just 1 hit, and then we're going over again. So what we need to do is make sure that it's just 1 hit. Cool, because at the moment he's walking and we're chopping him down. So with just 1 hit, not helping. So if we, there we go. If we go back into our script, we need to say, we need to create a private ball initially, okay? So let's go up all the way up here, and under our get and our set, let's say private ball, because we can, obviously with a ball we can say if the hit is true or false. That's probably the easiest way to do it. And then we are going to say underscore do damage. And we're initially going to say it's true, because obviously we don't want it to be false as we start, because it won't do any damage at all. So we're going to start by setting that as true. Once we've done that, in our I've just realised we're doing this in the wrong script. So what I'm going to do is Command X that. So I do apologise, I'm lost my mind. Don't do this late on Monday nights. Go into our attack script, and this is where this is going to be. Cool. So there we go. So private ball do damage equals true. Brilliant. Okay, so we now need to customize this. So that is fine, because we're grabbing the script from here. What I'm going to do is cut this, and we need to say within our hit, if we hit something, we then need our damage to become false, because we only want it to be 1 hit at a time. So we need to say if brackets underscore do damage equals true. Curly brackets. We then can bring back hit.damage because we obviously want to damage first. We then straight after that, we want to say do damage equals false. Cool, lovely, we've done it. No, we haven't. Because what this does, it will only disable our attack. It won't bring it back. So to bring it back, if we write do damage equals true right under it, the script will go so quick that it will just do the same thing again. It'll be one hit, go through the collider, and it will be one hit death. So what we need to do is create a coroutine to say, whoa, hang on a minute, wait for a certain amount of time, then we can bring back do damage, and then the cycle goes over again. So what I'm going to say is, let's create an enumerator and call this reset damage. With the brackets, do some curly brackets. Why is that being funny? Okay, maybe I need to just type something in first. Reset damage, so let's say it's going to yield. Actually, is this yeah, it's right, okay. Yield return new, and we are going to wait 4 seconds, and we can wait for let's go for the 0.5. I think I've done this before on the 2D, 2.5D even. And then we can say underscore, once we've waited 2.5, a point of a 0.5 of a second, we can then say do damage goes back to equals true. Lovely. Cool. This should work. If this doesn't, I don't know what I'm going to do. Cool. Lovely. So let's let that compile. Bloody bloody blah. I'm not worried about that. I have no issues. Let's go back into our game. Drop down. So let's have a look. I'm actually going to click on our player initially so we can see his health. So I'm going to click. Oh, hang on a minute. Come here, come here. Oh, I still did it in one. You naughty little script. Did it? Oh. That's interesting. Oh, flipping heck, he's fallen over again. Okay. Alright, let's play that again. I'm really intrigued about that now. So as he comes back. Okay. Only 1 damage and the collision. That is interesting. Let's have a look at this skeleton. Let's see if I've set him up right. Oh, he's not even in the game anymore because I deleted him. His health is 3. He's still dying. What have I... Oh. Hang on a minute. Let's have a look at this. Right. I haven't actually set the coroutine. So if we have a look here, let's start that coroutine. So if I write start coroutine, reset. Why is that now not coming up? That's worrying. Reset damage. Please work. Why don't you like me now? Could not be found. You are missing a user directive or reference. No, I'm not. Oh, because it's not. Yeah, I just can't. It's late. Start coroutine. It needs to be in brackets. Oh, dearie me. Reset damage. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Cool. Save this. So I was nearly at my wit's end then. I thought, oh no, what else am I going to do if it's not working with that? Right, let's go there. Let's clear that. Cool. So let's start this again. Go back into this. Drops down. I'm going to click on the enemy skeleton as well. Click back on this. So there's his 1. Oh, he's died at 1 again. Okay, why is he dying at 1? Is that coroutine definitely working? We're not even in the right script. Wait for seconds, reset damage there. Do damage, do damage. Okay, he's still dying on 1. As he comes across, yeah, he's a one-hit kill kind of guy. Interesting, very interesting. Diddle-diddle-oo. Sprite, hitbox. Okay, I'll have a think about this because my method hasn't worked. What if I wait for longer? Maybe it's too short of a time. Let's try this very, very quickly. Realise. Let's wait for 1F. Come on. Comes in. Dying straight away. 1 damage. Okay. Let's go crazy talk and add 10F to see if this is actually working at all. Your enumerator is out there. 2 damage, 2 damage, true, 2 damage, false, reset damage. Set back to true. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Let us skeleton. See if this works very quickly. Cool, this seems to be working more, but I'm not sure if it's I've moved the arrow or, there we go, I think. Skeleton enemy. He's still on 3 health, so. As he comes back, let's quickly. Let's have a look at this. Right, I might say it's that instead of this. So I might change this back to 0.5F. Save that. Let's see if this works. Come on. Right. Come here. 1 hit. 2 hit. 3 hit. Hasn't died. Cool. How many times have I hit him now? Fair amount. Spam it. I am getting damage. Is his health going down at all? No. What I'm thinking. So where's that health in update? Wonder if that's working or not. Oh, I see. Where's the minus? Yeah, take 1 health away. Right. Let's have one final check of this. One final check of that. Go back to this. If he dies on 1 hit, I'm gonna have to go back and have a look at what's going on. Cool. Let's press play. There he is. Come on. And swipe. He's died in one hit. Okay, cool. It's working, but it's working too well, obviously, because one hit is absolutely destroying him. So I will come back with a fix for this video, but initially implement that. It's the right way to go. It's just maybe some tiny little tweaks, and I'll get back to you very, very soon. Thank you for watching.